Hey, good morning. That sun's bright. Is that beautiful or what? That pond behind me? I never get sick of that. I love it. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous day out here today. Thanks for joining me. I've got a project that a few of you have been waiting for. I know you've been asking about, and so finally got the parts in for the Agrafab 48-inch Pull Behind Aerator, and it's really easy. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. Show you. I'm going to put it together and get it back up and running in good shape. So stick with me. Welcome to TWC Projects. Glad you're joining today. All right, so if you saw my discussion board this week, put a comment out there, you know what's coming and you know what's in this box right here. So I'll show you in a minute how I got these, but I figured I'd pull them out of the box. And let's see, we got them packaged pretty well here. So I'll show you in a second online, but and I'll put the link in the description. But basically, Agrafab was really good about, I just simply let them know what happened, mentioned the fact that the welds weren't done very well, and although I do see these are still halfway, but at least they're not just spot welded. The other ones were barely welded at all. So yeah, I'll show you. So basically, it looks like they just do a half weld. I'm not sure why they don't go all the way around, and I think if I have another problem with them, I'm going to just pull out the welder and do them myself. I just didn't want to go to that trouble when there was a brand new piece of equipment, and I know most of you aren't going to have a welder to be able to do that anyway with. So, but you can see they go halfway around, and hopefully that's enough. The ones that broke were just like little spots. They hadn't even finished the halfway around, so we'll see. But we're gonna take a little time today. I'll show you what we need to do to get this changed out. I've got 2 of them, so it's going to be 8 different tines on each, 16 tines, I guess. And got to pull the whole axle shaft out. So I don't know. I'm expecting this to take about 20-30 minutes, but always takes longer when I'm filming, of course. But we'll see what. And I'll speed it up for you. It'll probably be like 3 minutes. But anyway, at least you'll see what I did. I'll put the link out there for you, but basically I went to Agrafab, and there's a place for defective or missing parts. And it gives you little instructions and shows you, look at the label, and I'll show you where that label is in a second on the aerator. But then you just put them in here with your information. Took me a couple seconds, probably literally a minute and a half. And I submitted it, and I got an email, I think, the next day, and they said, they apologized and said that they were sending out new parts. And I wanted to make sure I sent them a couple pictures to make sure they knew exactly what parts, but they seemed to already know. And they were really good about getting them to me right away. I think it was like a week later I had them in the mail. So on the aerator itself, you've got to go to the back side and right over here. So right on the back, you're going to have your label, and you'll need to get the numbers right off of there, and it shows you on that app exactly how to do that. So check that out if you have this machine and you had a problem with it. The manufacturer was really good to work with. I'd hoped they were. I said I hoped they were. I knew they're a reputable company. They seem to have some challenges though with the quality of some of the products. I noticed some other YouTubers that talked about they had an issue with their retracting handle, and their hook had some manufacturing quality problems, but they wasn't major. I mean, this person wasn't a deal breaker for them, but nobody's perfect, I guess. But so realistically, that's a possibility. But price range wise, I think sometimes you expect things to not be perfect. You expect them to be good. and it is good. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing back together with those new components, and so let's get to it. All right, so I just needed the wrenches I needed was 11 millimeter, 13 millimeter, and 14 millimeter for all the parts that I think I need to take off, which includes taking off these end pieces, taking the wheels off, and then I think I may have to take this out. I'm not sure. We'll see. Might have to take the other end off. I'm not sure if I can pull the shaft out through, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Once I do that, I've got to take the tines off of the wheels, so that's next. All right, I thought I could pull the bolt out of this lever arm. I thought that was what was keeping my axle from pulling through, but there's something else binding it, so it's not a big deal. I just take this one end off. I'm going to fix that, put it back on, then I'll do the other end. And I think we might get the wire wheel and try to clean these tines up a little bit too. That's evidently sat in the mud and rusted a bit, so might even try some of that rust cutter that I used last week on the lawnmower. So that's what's going on. So looking at this more closely, the one that broke, I was mistaken. It did have a half weld all the way around, so I'm kind of concerned that might happen with some of the others, so I don't know. We'll see. I guess if I have it happen again, I'm just going to have to get out the arc welder and do them all. I'm a little surprised. When I looked at it last time and I showed you pictures, it looked like it was only spot welded, but I can see now, I just couldn't see the other side of it. It did have a half weld, but it's crap. All right, so that's one done. Wasn't too bad. It took, let's see what it took. So that took about 15 minutes to do that one side, so I guess it's gonna be 30 in all. Maybe a little less now that I've got to, I didn't need to take this thing apart in the middle like I thought I did, so I'll put that back, but that only added a couple minutes. So now let me put the rest back together, and, or let me do the rest, and we'll try it out. Darn it, I missed something. On the inside of the, I'm gonna take that other one apart again. On the inside of the shaft, don't forget these things. These little plastic bushings, separators or whatever they are. They, darn it, I forgot it on the other one. So don't miss that when you take the other one apart. or do that. So. All right, so one other, not really an advertisement, but this little plastic tray, I don't know what I paid, 99 cents for it maybe, but really handy, especially until I get my garage built. I'm often working on dirt or grass, even worse, and it's easy to lose things. So I like having one of these little catch trays. I have magnetic ones too that I use in the shop with the car, but it's really handy. So I throw my parts in there, and then I can find them again when I'm done. Makes it it's a useful thing to have, so just a little helpful hint. So that's it. We replaced the broken pieces with the new ones, and hopefully they'll last a little bit better. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, what I've discovered is that none of these, and I think somebody said that in the comments, so thank you by the way, that they only do half weld on these. They don't weld them all the way around. And I think AgriFab, if you're watching, I recommend that you weld them all the way around, because several folks that are watching this channel have found that these are broken on them and they've had to replace them. And of course you've seen I did too. Thank you for being really responsive and sending new ones. I think if you know, save you some time and money and frustration from some of your customers, have your whoever's making these things for you guys, please have them weld them all the way around. I think it'll save you and everybody some frustration that's unnecessary. So anyway, that's it. I've got these little bushings to put back in from my mistake, but the total work here took about right around 30, maybe a little over 30 minutes with videotaping. I have to stop and move things and so forth. So should take you about 30 minutes, especially if you have a power driver like this. It makes life, as you can see how fast it was to take those on and off, really makes life nice. So I think, like I said, I'll probably wire wheel these, the tines that are rusted a little bit, just to make sure they're going to work better. And I'm going to wait a couple more weeks. We haven't really had enough rain yet. The ground's a little hard still. I'll wait a few more weeks because I don't want to seed now anyway, but probably about mid-October. It's the first week of October now. I'll probably get this thing out again and run it around, and maybe if I get a minute, I'll add that to some other videos so you can see it in action, although you can go back and look at the other video when I first made it, first put it together out of the box. You certainly get to see plenty of action of it running around behind my UTV. So hope this has been helpful. Certainly for the folks, those of you who are asking about it, I hope that answers your question. I'll, like I said, in the description of this video, I'll add the link to that warranty page where you can claim defect, whatever. And like I said, the AgriFab was great. They instantly, you know, they didn't give me a hard time about it at all. They understood, and they sent out new ones right away. Got them within the week. So I think I did that last Thursday or Friday, and I had them Wednesday of this past week. So, so thank you, AgriFab, for doing that. And like I said, hopefully you can, if you're watching this, those things need to be welded all the way around. I'm probably, if I have another one break, I'm going to go through and just weld them all the way around. But I shouldn't have to do that with a brand new piece of equipment, and I think that you want to build a better quality product than that. So hopefully that's something you can start doing. Anyway, that's it. I hope you're doing well, enjoying the outdoors, taking care of yourself. fixing things, building things, being creative. I love it, and I love sharing it with you, so thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. I love knowing that folks are interested, and I'll keep them coming. I try to get one out every week, sometimes a little bit more. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Ring the bell if you want to see when the new ones come out. Usually, I try to get them out every weekend, so it just takes time to, make them and then edit them, so you understand. Anyway, that's it. Take care, be well. Thanks for joining me on TWC Projects.